The amount of new immigrants changed drastically in the early 70s.
The south of Deir was becoming more Arab.
The questions became ridiculous after a while.
They didn't call them people from the South End, they said the Arabs.
Comments that were made, almost like there wasn't an Arab community in America. All we're doing is saying something's wrong.
The first item here is to have dignity first in the community.
Once I had a dream that made me sad. How so many people can be bad.
Everything I had for my ledgers, whatever they are, I threw it away. And I was looking for people who felt the same way like I do. I found some groups in Dearborn.
We wanted someone in the community to say something on behalf of the Arab American community.
You didn't have a place for the people for
None whatsoever.
There were really two groups of people, and they were contiguous. One of them was a group called the Arab American University graduates, and then there was a group of people at the street level who felt that there was a need for something like access.
The influx of immigrants coming was growing every year substantially. No one was there for these immigrants.
Numbers of Arabs began to move into Dearborn. People became frustrated and angry and wanted them to leave.
This generation felt compelled to help them and do something for them.
So it became kind of a no-brainer that we needed to do something that helped low-income people and immigrants.
Further, it never turned away anyone from any suburb or state or country who called upon us for help.
You know, it was an old school that really never got converted. It was just classroom spaces, office space.
It was all by volunteers. It was run 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it became the center.
All of us, we washed windows, we cleaned floors.
We were doing everything. If people looking for a job, we'll go look for jobs for them. If people want to enroll their kids in schools, we help them figure out how to do this.
Then we had some volunteers doing immigration work for people who were being challenged by the system. And that's where I sort of started doing the volunteer work there.
And those people all put in their flesh and blood into opening that office.
But still, there was a field where we can vitalize to be able to have more help from the community.
International Institute sends George Saba down. Bridget Anuti joins us.
I remember every year Access would throw end of year party. I remember Ishmael Ahmed would dress up as like Santa Claus and put a hatiya on and come through and somehow collect a whole bunch of toys. I was also a recipient of that growing up.
And then came the magic thing, how can we make a profession?
Maha Frege joined us as an accountant, but we quickly saw that she was one of the most capable people we'd ever dealt with.
Access had the assets. It just, we didn't realize that there is this whole universe that we can tap into.
The woman was a pioneer when it came to being innovative in terms of new resources of revenue, learning something called capital campaigning, where it's not a foreign term to mainstream America, but was maybe to us.
We were at a level where we wanted to build a building, so we don't have to provide services from 3 different small locations. But 90% of our funding was government, so it clicked for me. My project became to stand in the possibility of financial sustainability of Access. And I wanted to do it through launching a capital campaign for that building that we wanted to build. It opened to the public in 1999, and it opened debt-free.
Oh, you can't stop this.
Throughout your 27 years, you've never done anything like it. Nobody in your peers did anything like it.
It opened up doors to us to foundations and fundraising that weren't previously available. That was strategic.
You start to see what's possible. Your entire universe starts to open up. And then September 11 happens.
Those days I probably remember more than anything. And I remember how important it was that there not be a backlash in this community, that people understand that this community is Americans and they love their country.
We wanted to change the narrative. We wanted to have the Arab American community talk about itself.
There was nothing that could connect all of us to that shared experience of the Arab immigrants. The museum was the project that could do that.
And we traveled around the country. Because what is an Arab American? How do we represent the stories of Arab Americans? Because they're all different.
We come from very rich backgrounds. Our heritage is amazing.
No matter how long we live in this country and cherish this country, we also cherish our heritage and where we come from.
Celebrating every single thing that makes us unique, every single thing that makes us different, because that's really the most important things in us.
It's the one institution that you may walk into learning about your past and stepping out of it, reclaiming your identity.
From the perspective of building our capacity to go to the next level, we started thinking about our role in creating and helping the unification and the civic participation of the national Arab American community.
We went from city to city, finding people who were like us and seeing how we could work together for a national agenda.
Help these institutions grow and deliver the services within their communities, pave the way for that success for other people.
We bring them together, connect them with each other, give them the tools that will make them strong nonprofit organizations.
And making certain that things in your institutions are working favorably, and your professional organization being able to give back to the community.
And working on issues that are important to all of us through an advocacy and policy platform.
And that advocacy platform was immigration and civil rights and the needs of immigrants.
To really change narratives about immigrants, refugees, Arab Americans, that people really saw the richness that those immigrants and refugees brought to the quilt that is America.
That's the beauty of the National Network for Arab American Communities.
That was the second national organization. And the third, and I want to credit Maha French for the vision, is how Arab Americans get themselves involved in philanthropy. A very powerful tool of communities building their own communities.
Having immigrant communities grow to understand the power of strategic giving through a community foundation is not something that happens easily. But she really believed so strongly in that possibility that it came to fruition.
That national institution allowed us to affect causes not only all over the United States, in areas that Access doesn't touch. You know what I mean? It's not about what we care about. It's about making you the strongest and most strategic giver you can be as Arab American. That's all we care about.
We teach young people the meaning of philanthropy and the engagement in philanthropy. It's a collective force.
It makes you a much more complete human being when you see yourself as a giver, a human being that has a purpose in life, and you act on that purpose, then you are truly civically engaged. Imagine where we can go.
You know, although we are a nonprofit and our heart is always going to be a nonprofit, we definitely needed to make sure that we also ran it like a business. Every dollar that we save goes right back into the general account. And so when those clients come through the door and there's no dollars for them, we're able to tap into those general funds because we were able to make real savings for those individuals and really did that work making sure that we took care of people.
We all believed in change, and we all believed in change toward fairness. We reminded ourselves on a daily basis, is the work we're doing contribute to that mission?
It wasn't always the way it is today. It looks easy. It wasn't easy. There were people who wanted us out of business. We overcame them and continue to hold our heads high in this organization and know that the work we do makes a difference in people's lives.
You have to have good relation with other community. You cannot be by yourself. Access have feeling for everyone.
It's an organization that keeps its word. It's an organization that is forward-looking, inclusive, committed to bringing us all together as Arab Americans.
We've helped develop as a recognition as a premier social service agency. We've helped develop as a recognition as a premier advocate, not just locally but nationally.
The fight to stay human is important. We always have to remember that the people at the ground level are what count the most. If we abandon that, we abandon what we are and what we were for.
And we are so driven by the values of integrity, and we are working every day to make sure that goes into every single level in the organization.
When the lights go out, my light will only shine brighter. My light will only shine brighter.